JV classes. Today we are going to discuss about modes of nutrition. Sir, what are the modes of nutrition? Let us discuss that. Modes of nutrition. Modes of nutrition. Based upon the food is taken by organisms, the main are of two modes. One is autotrophic nutrition, and the second one is heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophic nutrition. So now we are going to discuss about autotrophic nutrition. So what is autotrophic nutrition? So here auto means self, trophic nutrition. So an organism that can create their own food by their own. So this is called as autotrophic nutrition. So the main and the major thing in autotrophic nutrition is photosynthesis. Now let us discuss about photosynthesis. So all the green plants, they can produce their own food by the process of photosynthesis. In the process photosynthesis, here photo means light and synthesis means to produce. So in presence of light, an organism such as green plants that produce their own food. Is it clear? So what are the requirements for photosynthesis? So green plants may not move from one place to another place, so that a plant can get their factors in a particular place. So that there are mainly involved, two factors are involved in photosynthesis. One is outer factors, and the second one are inner factors. So what are outer factors and what are inner factors that involve in photosynthesis? So mostly outer factors are nothing but the environmental factors. So what are the environmental factors that are necessary for preparing for food in photosynthesis? That is nothing but one is carbon dioxide gas. The gas carbon dioxide is necessary for photosynthesis, which was available in our atmospheric air. Okay, and then second one is water. So where do water get? The plants get water from the soil. So the dissolved state, they absorb water by the help of their root system. Okay, and another one. These all are the carbon dioxide and water. These are the outer factors. Okay, and about another one is sunlight. Where do a green plant get light? From sun. Okay. And the next one, what are the inner factors? The inner factor is nothing but chlorophyll or chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is a green pigment. Chlorophyll is a green pigment which is present in all green plants, mainly in leaf. Okay, so with the help of a green plant can prepare its own food. So that how do photosynthesis takes place? So we have to discuss this process in an equation. Okay, so all the green plants can utilize carbon dioxide from environment, and it utilize water from soil, and they synthesize both carbon dioxide and water molecules in presence of sunlight, and chlorophyll, and then the end products of photosynthesis is glucose. C6H12O6. It is produced in the form of starch. So that is glucose and oxygen molecules and water. Okay. So here now equal the equation. So here 6 carbon dioxide molecules and 12 water molecules. Okay. C6H12O6 and 6 oxygen molecules and 6 water molecules produce. So that in photosynthesis we need a plant need that are the necessarily carbon dioxide from environment, water from soil. They both were synthesized in chlorophyll in presence of sunlight. Hence, the green plant that produces glucose and oxygen molecule which were liberated through the small pores that are present in leaves, that is nothing but stomata. Okay, later we discuss about the structure of stomata. And water molecules, this water also can evaporate through stomata. So this is the equation that shows photosynthesis. So here the in autotrophic nutrition, plant get carbon dioxide from environment and water from soil. So it may not depend on others. That means on other organisms. So that this type of or this mode of nutrition is called as autotrophic nutrition. And then what is the role of stomata in photosynthesis? So what is the role of stomata? So what are stomatas? Stomata is nothing but a small pores. Stomatas are nothing but a small pores which are present mainly in green leaf. Let us draw the diagram of stomata. Okay. So when we observe in the microscope, we find a small pore in the leaves, and this small pore is called as stoma. Both the stoma that are protected by a bean-shaped structures which are protects to stoma are called as guard cells. The shape of guard cells are bean shaped. So hence we observe the stomata. So we observe like this type of figure. Okay. So this is the structure of stomata. So stomata, what is the importance of stomata? Stomata helps in gaseous exchange. So what is gaseous exchange? So the gas which is utilized in photosynthesis is carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide that enters through stomata into green plant. Okay, so and also the stomata that releases oxygen towards outer environment, so that both carbon dioxide and oxygen both were exchanged through stomata, so that gaseous exchange takes place in the plants are stomata, and also is called as nose of a plant. Most probably they ask some questions in foundation. So what is the nose of the plant? Stomata is called as nose of the plant. Is it clear? And what is the another importance of stomata? Stomata that evaporates the water through it. So water get evaporates through stomata. So that this is the structure of and function of stomata. So stomata helps in gaseous exchange and water evaporation. So the process of water evaporates through stomata is called, you know what is that? The water that transmits or transfers through stomata is called transpiration. The process transpiration that continues towards stomata. Hence, the water get absorbed by root system. So that this is the information about one of the mode of nutrition is photosynthesis. Okay. So generally, how do oxygen is liberated? So where do oxygen liberates? Let us discuss that. So mainly in green plants we observe chlorophyll. Chlorophyll, it is a green pigment. The cells of chlorophylls are called as chloroplasts. So let us discuss about the structure of chloroplast, and then only we can discuss how do oxygen is liberates in photosynthesis. Okay, so when we observe the structure of chloroplast, it is commonly seen in round or oval shaped structure. It is considered outermost membrane. One is it consists outer membrane, and it also consists the second one inner membrane, and also the third layer also present, but it is into steps like structures. These are called as thylakoids. What are that? These are called as thylakoids. These thylakoids are bunches in like structure. The entire group of thylakoid, the bunch of the thylakoid is called as grana. So what is the importance of grana? Grana that helps in traps the sunlight. So importance of grana helps trap the sunlight. It traps sunlight. So grana traps sunlight, and also a fluid filled portion is seen inside the chloroplast. The fluid filled portion is seen inside the chloroplast. That is nothing but stroma. So the stroma that contains enzymes which helps in preparation of food materials. Okay. So first of all, the sunlight falls on this chloroplast, and then the grana that traps the sunlight. And then what will happen? At the same time, the water enters into chloroplast, and hence the water enters towards the grana, where there is water molecules that were break down. The water molecules were break down by the help of sunlight, so that the water breaks and form of hydrogen ions and hydroxyl ions. Hydrogen and hydroxyl ions. Hence, the water that breaks down into hydrogen and hydroxyl ions, and hence the oxygen is liberates. So, where do oxygen liberates? By the breaking of water molecules, then only oxygen liberates. So, this is the information about photosynthesis. Is it clear? And right now, and next, what about here these hydroxyl ions that gives oxygen, and what about hydrogen ions? These hydrogen ions are undergo to the next process. The hydrogen ions are undergo for the next process. In photosynthesis, we find two stages. One is light dependent reactions. Light dependent reactions, and second one are dark reactions. So light dependent reaction, when available of sunlight, then that is considered as a light dependent reaction. And what about dark reaction? In dark reaction, light may be necessary or not. Okay, so the dark reaction is undergo while light is available or not. But the light dependent reaction must be shown in presence of sunlight. So the hydrogen ions were undergo towards dark reactions, and here the enzymes which are present in stroma were involved and forms the glucose. That means C6H12O6. So that the end products of photosynthesis, totally the end products of photosynthesis are glucose plus some water molecules plus oxygen. These are the end products of photosynthesis. So that in this way, a green plant that can produce the starch. That means the glucose which is utilized by a green plant. So the prepared starch that were transmitted or transfers through a special tissue is seen in green plants. That is nothing but phloem. By the help of this tissue phloem, a green plant that transfers the prepared food material towards entire all the plant. So this is the information about autotrophic nutrition. Okay. Right now, let us discuss about what is heterotrophic nutrition and what are the types of heterotrophic nutrition. Okay. So heterotrophic nutrition, it is one type of nutrition which are seen in all the animals. Heterotrophic nutrition, because of an animal may not prepare its own food like green plants. Okay, so any animal, any organism except green plants, they may not prepare their own food. So that all the animals that depend for their food needs to another animals or plants. So that based upon this, the types of heterotrophic nutrition is of mainly three types. One is holozoic nutrition. And second one is saprophytic nutrition. And the third one is parasitic nutrition. So holozoic nutrition, saprophytic nutrition, and parasitic nutrition. Is it clear, students? Okay. So modes of nutrition, heterotrophic nutrition is based upon the animal which receives their food and their conditions and their situations. It is seen in three. One is holozoic, and second one is saprophytic, and third one is parasitic nutrition. And then what is holozoic nutrition? So an organism which takes its food and water from outside. That means some other animals or some other plants and other sources for water. So an organism that receives its food from others and digested in its body. An organism that receives, that takes its food and digests in its body, that is nothing but holozoic nutrition. So most of the animals that shown this type of holozoic nutrition, the best example is human being. Human being. So human being, generally a human being or a man, that he receives food from plants and the animals. He eat eggs, he eat flesh, he eat dal, rice and chicken, everything he took and digests in his digestive, in his body through digestive system, and getting energy and getting nutrients from others, and he receives water from different kind of sources, so that a person or an organism which is utilizing food material and water from other sources is called as nothing but halozoic nutrition, right? Is it clear, students? Right. So and so a holozoic nutrition is an organism which shows this type of holozoic nutrition is called holozoic. Holozoic. And what about saprophytic nutrition? This is a special type of nutrition which is seen in fungus. So saprophytic nutrition which was seen in fungus. So what is the importance of saprophytic nutrition? In saprophytic nutrition, they may not depend on other living bodies. In this type of nutrition, the organisms may not use the living bodies, so that these saprophytic nutrition, an organism which shows saprophytic nutrition is called saprophyte. So a saprophyte that depends for their food needs on dead and decay matter. Dead and decay matter. Decay matter. For example, dead and decay matter. For example, mushroom. We usually see in the mushrooms. Mushroom that grows on hay or other dead plant barks. The barks of a plant, which one? Dead plant, and complete humid and moisture conditions. So that this type of nutrition, that means which get nutrients from dead and decay matter, is called as saprophytic nutrition. The best example is mushrooms and rhizopus. We commonly see in the bread mold. We observe a small fungus, a spongy-like structure seen on the bread, and some pickles, and rotten tomatoes and rotten brinjal. We find a whitish or yellowish or greenish substances are seen. These are nothing but saprophytes. Is it clear, students? And then, what is your parasitic nutrition? In this type of nutrition, an organism which depends on other organisms. An organism is depend for food and shelter. So an organism which depends for food and shelter on other organisms is nothing but parasitic nutrition. So the best example, pedicellus. Pedicellus, what is pedicellus? Lice on our head. Lice. So it took food material from our body, that means it receives blood or it sucks blood from our body. And it also took shelter on our hair. So this type of nutrition is nothing but parasitic nutrition. This type of organisms which shows parasitic nutrition is called parasites. So an organism which give food and shelter towards parasites is called host. So the relationship between host and parasite is called parasitic nutrition. Here, the parasites that depend on host for food and shelter. Okay, in some situations, the parasite may kill the host. In case the number of parasites are increased in its body, then the host get killed. And I will give another example. Malaria. In malaria disease, the main parasite is Plasmodium. Plasmodium is a parasite. Here, the parasite is Plasmodium. This Plasmodium is present in host, the human being. So, when the available or when the parasite that enters, that means the Plasmodium that enters into the human being, we get that this is malaria. In this malaria, most probably the Plasmodiums are deadly damaged the blood cells, and hence the person, the host, suffers from a deadly disease is malaria. So that this is the one type of the relation. Okay. In another type of relation, that means that both the host and the parasite get benefited. Is it clear? So this is parasitic nutrition. In another type of nutrition, parasitic nutrition is also one type of parasitic nutrition, but here both the host and the parasite get benefited. Both the host and parasite get benefited. This type of nutrition is called as, this type of relation is called as symbiotic relation. Symbiotic relationship. This process is called symbiosis. So what is symbiosis? In symbiosis, the parasite is depend on host for food, as well as the host also gives food to parasite. At the same time, the parasite that gives some material towards host. For example, the relationship between bacteria and dal plants. Here you find dal plant that provides in its roots, some root nodes are seen. Dal plant roots, we find root nodes. Okay, in the root node the bacteria are present. The best example is Azotobacter. Azotobacter is the bacteria, or Rhizobium leguminosarum. Rhizobium is the bacteria which are seen in host plants' root nodules. Okay, and then what do bacteria do towards the plant? So the bacteria that fixes the gaseous nitrogen into nitrates, then only the plant can get nitrates towards their activities. And then by result the plant that gives towards the bacteria food and shelter. So in this type of relation, both plants and animals are get benefited. So that this type of relation is called a symbiosis or symbiotic relationship. Okay, students. So I hope you understand this topic. Okay, right? Thank you.